Hi, this is Dreyer and welcome to the Financial Freedom Challenge, where our mission is to help you to create, to grow, to protect and to enjoy a life of abundance. And today I'd like to talk to you about the Rainmaker skill. This morning I had a choice. I was busy doing what I was supposed to do in terms of my heart rate, and it started pouring outside. And I thought, I haven't done this for quite some time. Let me get into the rain and let me do and get my heart rate up, which I did. And it's still drizzling outside, but it's an incredible day. And today I'd like to talk to you about the Rainmaker skill. Because the moment that you've got this skill, it's just going to be a lot easier for you to become a wealth creator. Now, the first time that I heard about this skill was way back in the 90s, mid-90s. I saw a client, James, and in the beginning of the year, towards I think it was about February, March the year. And I did a planning for him, and then he said to me, Hannes, I'm working towards getting a senior management position more or less in next year, early next year, the year after. And I'd like you to come and redo this exercise that you've done in November. That was many years ago. So as we were walking towards my car, he escorted me out to my car. He said to me, Hannes, you know everything about me, but what is it that you're going to do this year? Because I asked him, what do you want to achieve, by when do you want it, in order to do the preparations for him. And I said that specific year, I wanted to be in the top of the table, which is the top 1% of the top 1% in the insurance field. And I wanted to complete a project that I was busy with at that stage. That was an office building that I've developed, and I wanted to move into the offices. I wanted to travel overseas, went up to in Africa, and then buy myself a brand new BMW 12-cylinder, 850 12-cylinder. So that was February, March that year. November, he actually called me and he said to me, Hannes, I've just got notice that I've got this promotion, but it's only going to start in January. So I want us to get everything in place so that I do not see and I do not touch that increase that I'm going to get. In other words, I'm going to use that as my surplus, and I'm going to start to build my financial freedom around that surplus. So I rocked up there and we did what we were supposed to do. And again, he escorted me back to my car. And as we got to my car, and he said to me, did you buy this car? I said, yeah. He said, what's the monthly payments? And I said, no, I bought it cash. And then he said, what about the other goals that you've set? I said, we were in America that year, Canada as well as America. That was about in August of that year. And I've done each and everything that I've said that I would do before the end of the year. Of course, that specific year, the top of the table only ended in the 31st of December that year. But I've already qualified, and I knew that I would get that qualification. And he said to me, but this must be an amazing car. So I gave him the keys of the car, and I said, do you want to take it for a spin? And he said, of course. So as he got into the car, he turned to me and he said to me, Hannes, you know what? You're a rainmaker. And I didn't know what the rainmaker was. So I asked him, what's a rainmaker? And he said, you've got the gift, the ability to make it rain money. And you're one of very few people that I know that actually knows how to do this. And I turned to him and I said to him, James, well, first of all, I accept the fact that I'm a rainmaker, but there's no gifts, because everything that I've got, I've worked for. And I had to master several skills in the process. So, you know, in order to become successful financially or in a business or with your investments, no one is born with a skill. You craft that skill, you create that skill, you master that skill. And then the trick is to start layering those skills on top of one another. And then I believe at a certain point you become a rainmaker. Now, many years later, I was standing on the tennis court and it was also raining. And I thought that I'm going to start a course called the Rainmaker Startup Business. And the reason why I wanted to start that course is a Rainmaker has got the ability, the moment that you've got the skill, you can start a business with no idea, with no money, with no database, with nothing that everyone tells you you must have. That is a lie. Because the moment that you've got the skill, that skill is enough. The gearing, the leveraging that you've got is to use, if we look at the wealth creator strategy, it's the intelligent use of limited resources to go from where you are to where you want to be in the shortest possible time with the least amount of risk. That's it. And the fastest way to go from nowhere to make millions is literally by learning the skill. In other words, how do I take that I've got and turn that into a business and turn the business into an investment that is going to give me millions? Right. So I thought I'd like to share that a little bit with you, and maybe in the process I can help you. Confirm the office if you want more information about the Rainmaker Startup Business or the Wealth Creators Method. Right. So the challenge for today is very, very simple. You need to become a Rainmaker. You need to have the ability, or if you can get the skills to get the ability where you don't need money to make money, where you don't need networks, where you don't need a database, where you don't actually need an idea. I mean, you can take the 2 cents and by adding value, and the best way to add value is first of all to add value to yourself. And the quickest way to add value is to follow a mentor that has done it, or a coach that has done it before. Not learned stuff where he learned something at varsity and then he tries to apply it, or he's done a quick course, but he internalized it and actually can prove that he or she has done it. I think that is by far the quickest way to do it. And that is exactly what we teach in the Rainmaker Startup Business, which is part of the Wealth Creators Method on the business side. Okay, so how can you take action to start this process? Well, it starts with, you have to know your financial freedom growth rate. Unless you know your financial freedom growth rate, anything that you're going to do, nothing is going to work, because it's the growth on your money, taking risk into consideration, that's going to make you rich. And the only way that we know how hard your money is working for you is simply to calculate the growth on that surplus, on the investment portion. And you can start with no money, or you could start with 5 cents, like the explosive growth metric, where I turn it into literally millions, tens of millions of passive income already. Or you could start a concept where you can take what other people perceive to be very, very high risk and mitigate that risk completely by understanding how to apply the wealth creator strategy and the formula for riches that goes with that. Okay, so that's the first thing that you need to do. And then the second thing is start identifying the skills that you've got or that you can learn that's going to help you to start a business with absolutely no money. And then the third thing, you simply go out and you do it. It's really that simple. Right, so as always, remember that in order to create financial freedom, you must make sure that today is going to be and will be a perfect day. And that means that there will never be a day in your life that won't require you to take the responsibility for each and every action that you're going to take during that day, to know exactly what it is that you want. Like in the Rainmaker Startup Business, we know that we're going to start a business with no money, with no security, and that we're going to turn that into the first level of the wealth creator strategy. In other words, that's the first level where we've got an idea, we're going to test that idea, we're going to build a canvas, we're going to build a prototype. If the canvas works, and then we're going to take that and we're going to start to monetize that. Right, so you must have the intent, and the intent must be very, very clear what you want. And then you have to put in the time, you have to put in the effort, you have to have the right mindset, and of course, nothing is going to happen unless you take massive, massive action. And you have to do this consistently, because consistently doing what needs to be done is the only way that you're going to get the results that you want. There's simply no other way of doing it. So each and every action that you're going to take today is either going to take you one step closer to or one step away from achieving financial freedom. And therefore, if you want to guarantee financial freedom, one of the surest ways to do it is to learn the Rainmaker startup, the Rainmaker skill. In other words, to start a business or an investment with absolutely no money. And that simply means that there will be no risk. So the moment that you start a business with no money, with no security, with no pledges, with absolutely zero financial inputs, and you roll that back into this business to a level 2 where you're going to grow it, and once you've grown it, learn the processes and procedures and policies, turn that on a level 3 into a system, and once you've got the system, then start with the structures, get the structures right, and that is going to take you to a level 5. We're going to start experiencing the first level of financial freedom or financial independence. Right, so if you want to guarantee that, learn this skill and do everything in your power in order to, because we were born with that. If we look at the metaphysical laws, we're going to see that each and every one of those laws were planted in our DNA, you know, when we were born. And but we started listening to the experts and the gurus out there instead of relying on ourselves by taking responsibility to learn investments and to learn about business. And also, and I see very few people get this right, how to turn your business into one of the greatest investments that you can, and how to mitigate risk. Because if there's no investment, financial investment, then you can't lose anything. Warren Buffett says the only way to take a risk is, or risk, he defines risk as a possibility or probability to lose capital. And if you've put no capital into the intent, into that you want, you've taken no risk. Right. So as always, if you've got any questions, comments or suggestions regarding financial freedom, please post them in the comment box below and I'll see if I can help you. And then also remember to subscribe to my blog, that is blog.hannesdreyer.com. If you're not already subscribed, also to my YouTube channel. And then for more tips and strategies on financial freedom and to be able to live a life of abundance where you can do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, without worrying about money and dancing in the rain, or do some exercises in the rain if you feel like that. And then, yes, feedback regarding my heart rate. It was actually a very, very nice session, one of the best so far, simply because it was so different than the rest of the exercises, the sessions that I've done, and your environment plays an incredible role in your success. And then please share this video with other people if you think that it can help them or benefit them. And I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video as much as I've enjoyed making this video specifically on this wonderful, incredible day for you. See you then tomorrow.